And we're live.
We're live.
We still need a production crew, man.
We're actually somewhat ready for this one.
Yes, ready. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Northwest Brewmeisters. A couple guys from the Pacific Northwest who like beer.
And think you should too.
My name's Jamey.
Steve.
And this is going to be super fun. The first thing I'm going to do is get up.
Zupa.
Zupa!
Zupa? Zupa is super in German. Zupa.
Oh, that's right. You're learning German. Steve is learning German.
Ich lerne Deutsch.
I don't know enough German to tell you whether I don't think that's really German or not.
Ich lerne Deutsch means I study German.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was legitimate.
So German's a
the
lot
verb
like English.
lerne. The verb lerne means to study.
Oh, okay, all right.
We
cool
say
beans.
learn, but they say study.
Yeah, there's English is an interesting language because it's really a conglomeration of a lot of language as far as our root words.
Yeah, it's a language.
We have Germanic influences, we have Latin influences,
Greek influences as well, English language.
Especially Native American language has a lot of Native American influences, and if you get down into
Did you just say Native American language has a lot of Native American influences?
Did I say that?
You did say that.
I meant to say.
I would say you're correct on that one.
Yes, there's an amazing influence of Native Americans on the Native American
Native
languages.
American language.
It's almost like they invented it. You know, I don't know if that's right for them to influence their own language so heavily. But I meant to say American English. Yeah, okay. Never mind. All right, so if you read the title at all, you will have seen our beers. I'm going to go ahead and share this out while Steve tells you what he's going to watch. Brew. It's going to be a day.
Wow. I'm going to watch Trainwreck Coffee Lager. The Trainwreck Coffee Lager is one of the, I don't want to call it a seasonal because it's not a seasonal brew, but it's one of these specialty kits that our brew supply guys put together. In this case, the Trainwreck is a bar grill. And I think they brew their own beer as well. I can't remember. It might be a brewery, small brewery as well. Anyway.
No.
They don't.
They roast their own coffee.
I know they do that, but I think at one time they used to brew beer, maybe years ago when I went there. Anyway.
I don't know.
I haven't been back in a long time, and I feel like I'm slacking because it was really good. My wife and I went there years ago. You know, it's kind of your bar grill atmosphere, but they have a bunch of beer on tap. So maybe they're more of a tap house. You know, but a lot of it's craft beer, microbrew kind of stuff. Well, the Trainwreck and our brew supply guys are, I think it's kind of a little joint venture thing going on. I'm not quite sure what their relationship is. And the coffee that's going into this beer is from their, the coffee beans that they roast there, that they produce at the grill. So yeah, Trainwreck Coffee Lager. This is a specialty lager partnering with the Trainwreck Bar and Grill. We introduced the Trainwreck Coffee Lager featuring the Trainwreck Dark Roast and Cold Brew Coffee. Let's enjoy a rich finishing cold brew coffee with a kick. I'd say so. Not a real heavy beer, it looks like. The original gravity is going to be 1.048, final gravity 1.015, which equates to an ABV of 4.3 and an IBU of 31. So it's going to be kind of a lighter beer, you know, and that's fine. Don't always have to have the heavy dark beers, you know. The inventory is comprised of 8 ounces of Briess Caramel Vienna Malt 20L, 8 ounces of Wireman Carafa 2, and 8 ounces of Briess Midnight Wheat Malt, which are ingredients I've never used before. Never used these ever. The malt extracts are 6.6 pounds of Munich, malt extract, Elamine, which is also Briess, made by Briess. Hops are 1 ounce of Pearl, again a hop I've never used, which will go in at the 60-minute, and then an ounce of Hallertau at the 10-minute remaining. Which I've used Hallertau before. I know you have. You used Hallertau in a couple of your beers. The German style, German hop. And then during secondary fermentation, I will cold brew 2 cups of coffee. I don't have the beans there. I think I put them in the refrigerator from Trainwreck Bar Grill. You know, their coffee bean that they produce, and that'll go in during the last week of secondary fermentation. Which in this case, I'm going to leave it in for 3 weeks. Since it is a lager, I'm going to lager it a little bit. I'm not going to do like the whole cold lager thing. I'm just going to do 2 weeks in primary, 3 weeks in secondary, and then I will go ahead and get it in the keg. And that way we can drink it in about a week after that. Yeast is 2112 California Lager, also known as the Russian yeast. I just said that because 2112. No one calls it Rush yeast that I know of.
But I don't.
You don't get it, do you?
I don't get it.
2112 is an album by the band Rush.
Oh.
Canadians rejoice! You're a Canadian man, you know.
I did know that.
Every self-respecting Canadian loves Rush, man.
I think you might get some blowback on that if we had any viewers from Canada.
Maybe. Anyway, so typical brewing process. I will steep the grain for 30 minutes at about 155 degrees, give or take. After that's done, I will add all the fermentables into, the warm liquid wort, bring it up to a boil, pitch my first set of hops, which is the Pearl, set the timer for 60 minutes, and then at the 10-minute remaining, I'll pitch the second ounce of hops, which is the Hallertau, and then get it off the heat, cool it down as rapidly as possible, and get it in the carboy. And then the yeast will ideally ferment anywhere between like 65 and 72 degrees Fahrenheit. My house stays about 65 degrees, between 65 and 68 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'll have an ideal environment for fermentation this time around.
Yeah, just keep it away from your heat source.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it back, farther away from I have baseboard heaters and I can't stand them. But anyway, sometimes when I need a warmer wort, I'll put the carboy closer to that baseboard heater. Killed the yeast doing that one time.
Yes, we once left the yeast on top of the baseboard heater.
Smacked the pack, thinking, if I put it on the baseboard heater, it might activate the yeast a little sooner.
Boy, howdy did it.
Oh yeah, that pack was puffed out to its maximum.
It was about ready to pop.
Got it to about 80 degrees, and those poor little yeasties died. So
a horrible death.
Yeah, I had to pitch that yeast the next day on Monday, not Sunday, because all the brew supply places that would normally have our yeast were closed on Sundays, and so they still are closed on Sundays.
That was frustrating. It's frustration.
Yeah, that's Trainwreck coffee lager. I think I had some of it the other night. We had the coffee lager, wasn't it, at the brew supply? Is that what they gave us?
They let us sample a little bit that they've been brewing, so we knew what we were
tasting. That's right. Yeah, I liked it, and that's why I decided to buy the specialty kit.
I liked it for sure.
Yeah,
it was it had nice character. It had the coffee character, which is I find lagers to be fairly boring.
Yeah,
I mean they all taste really, really similar. I mean, well, you get the box. So box are interesting because they're a dark lager and they're strong and stuff. But for the most part, they're not a super exciting beer. Ales are amazing. Yeah. You can go anywhere you want with ales.
Lots of flavors in ales.
However, I will give you this. You will taste your ale for at least 30 seconds after you're done drinking it. Right. Because it's got all sorts of aftertaste. It's not a clean finish. It's like a glass of milk. It's like the finish is like water to milk, really.
So I tell you have a 60-minute boil?
Yes. Okay. There's a regular 60-minute boil.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So what are you brewing, man?
Oh, I should tell them.
Yeah.
I should drag it up. So I am brewing a peanut butter chocolate milk stout.
Sounds high in calories.
I know, it does, right?
I bet it's going to be
We're just going to call it the fatty stout.
The fatty stout.
The fatty stout. Let me drag it up here. So I started with my original imperial stout recipe, and then we made some alterations to that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're sticking with the Y yeast 1028 because that's just a really good go-to yeast. Going with the Breeze Amber liquid malt extract, 9.9 pounds. So this is going to be,
this is going to be a high gravity beer.
Somehow I've aimed for high gravity beers in the past and come out at a whopping 5.5%. I don't know what I did. Maybe I just did the math wrong. Maybe I don't know how to operate a hydrometer. There are a lot of what ifs in this scenario.
Should use a little bit of yeast nutrient.
Yeah, so you can almost explode my keg like someone we did. That's okay. I did that once. I woke up in the morning, walked out in the kitchen, like, we're
drinking it. We're drinking the product of that.
Oh yeah, and this stuff is fantastic. So anyways, peanut butter chocolate imperial milk stout. I just added yet another word. Hey, leave it in the comments if you want to add more descriptors to this beer. Just keep going. Peanut butter chocolate imperial milk black stout. So Breeze Amber 9.9, so about 10 pounds of malt extracts, 2 ounces of Willamette at the 60-minute mark, 1 ounce of East Kent Goldings at the 10-minute mark. Obviously not a hoppy beer, it's a stout. Crystal, here's where I made some adjustments. So we're doing 1 pound of Crystal 150, 2 ounces of Melanoidin, 8 ounces of roasted barley, and then 8 ounces of British chocolate malt. because I'm trying to push that chocolate flavor
okay.
forward a little bit. And then we're going to throw some cacao nibs in at the secondary if necessary. There's some if necessaries on here.
Right.
That's why, and if you read the description, it's like this is a little bit of an uncharted territory because there's a lot of throwing things in, not dry hopping, just throwing things in at the keg. It's like, and be careful with that because, you know, a little dab will do ya. It's like, you give me a lot of dabs. I want to use all the dabs. Don't use all the dabs. So the cacao nibs will go in at secondary, and then I got a pound of lactose, which is right behind me somewhere.
It's up there.
Oh, here it is.
Down there.
Lactose, which is just basically the milky part of the milk. It's the part of the milk that makes milk taste
That's the
milky.
part that makes people fart if they're lactose intolerant.
Ah, so peanut butter, chocolate, imperial milk, black flatulent stout. Add it to the descriptors. And then peanut butter flavoring. And so the lactose is a non-fermentable. So it's just gonna be the way it is when you add it in. As much as you add, it's not gonna change.
Gotcha. Just gonna add lactose.
Yeah. And so what I'm thinking about
Might even thicken it up a little bit.
right. And then the same with the peanut butter flavoring. That is one of those things that it is what it is.
Right.
It's like your yeast and your hops and things aren't going to change that, which is why, Ben was suggesting just add it in at the keg. Although I am thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some at secondary.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take, we taste in between. So I'm going to do primary fermentation, 2 weeks, let it do its thing. And then I'm going to add at secondary. And then when it's time to keg, I'm going to taste. And then if I think it needs more peanut butter or more chocolate or something, I'll be able to determine whether I need to add some chocolate flavor probably at the first racking. I'll be able to know it's like, I need the chocolate more forward. Or, nope, the British chocolate did its job. We're good. I should be able to tell that. So that'll determine whether I add the cacao nibs or the cocoa nibs. Cacao. Cacao. Cacao.
Cacao. Sounds like your little kid. Cacao with a gun or something,
I was thinking Batman, the early
the
Batman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Onomatopoeia.
That's what they should have just named that show, Onomatopoeia.
Onomatopoeia.
In any case, so like I said, there's a lot of playing it by ear after we do this.
Right.
Regular 60-minute boil.
It's kind of like how I am with my IPA that I made last brew. I'm shooting from the hip there, and I mean, I knew what I was putting together, but I'm not sure how it's going to taste in the end. And so, yeah, I get it. You're experimenting. You're creating a new recipe for yourself, and we'll see what happens.
You know what I think would be worthwhile to do is to do 1 gallon batches. It's going to require some math and stuff. Like this is a $90 beer, dude.
Man, while you're BSing, as they say.
Yeah.
With our current setup, we could do 1 gallon all grain batches. I think these are big enough to be 1 gallon of in the end. 1 gallon beer.
Really?
Because a friend of mine, Larry, that I work with, who brews. In fact, he goes out there where we go for our supplies. He started with extracts, but he does all grain brewing now. But he just brews 1 gallon batches.
Really?
And I think his starting water is like 3 gallons of water because it reduces down to a gallon.
Right, because you boil a lot of it away.
And he's done with everything, But yeah, we could actually do an all grain batches, small mini all grain batches with our current equipment, not have to worry about that giant pot,
Huh.
Yeah, something to think about.
Yeah,
Then we only have a gallon of beer, and that's only going to be 2 pints a piece. So, no,
2 quarts.
2 quarts a piece. Excuse me.
That's like
No, 2 pints in a quart.
that's like an afternoon. It's like we're done.
Yeah, we'll finish that quick. That would be like an after work beer. It's like, oh, we're out of beer already.
So what about?
But we can still do it to learn the process. Sorry, I didn't cut you off. We can still do it to learn the process.
True. It's true. Just it would be like a less expensive way of making horrible beers.
So we'll just do 2 1-gallon batches of all grain beer.
As also, the other thing is we've got 10 gallons here. I don't know how hard it would be to split the wort in a good way, though, once you made your extracts and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because you sparge off into your boil kettle, right?
I think you do, yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be like your boil kettle would be like intense malty power. And this kettle would be like, green tea,
Green tea.
green tea, weak green tea. You know what I mean? Because one would get kind of like coffee. If you ever make a pot of coffee and grab the first cup before it's done brewing, because all the pots have that little shut it off thing, yeah, that first cup makes your eyeballs roll around in your head.
Yeah.
And the last cup is like, why is this even in the pot? We just dump this down the sink.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, so I'm just thinking, like, we have enough capacity
Right.
for a 10-gallon, you know, for like a regular. Well, it wouldn't be 10 gallons, I suppose, at the end.
No.
Right? Because it boiled down. Let's just buy the pot.
The $380 boiling kettle with the ball valve on it, which you need, man. Because you know how hard it would be to tip that thing?
Oh, no. You would either need a ball valve or we need to build some sort of jig with some electric motors.
Some like medieval looking thing, like
Yeah.
they would use a tip oil over the side of the crenellation, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, man. I mean, that's like, so that's 64 pounds. Before you add the other stuff, I mean, well, to be honest, I don't think the additional gravity really makes it much more, maybe a couple pounds, but still.
Right.
Yeah, 64 pounds, trying to dump 64 pounds, no thank you.
I'm gonna tip it, man. Help me out. You know? Oh shit, it's hot. Oop. PG now.
That was a mess. Hey, you need another mop for your garage.
I know, right? I'm just gonna get a Navy style rack of mops like we used to have, you know, boot camp and all that. Keep them right outside the door here.
I used to hate that.
I hated that.
It smelled so bad. It was nasty. And I'd look at that too. You expect me to clean with that?
How am I supposed to clean with them?
The floor
Smearing dirt.
is dirtier than the floor is cleaner than the mop.
I know, right? Those things were disgusting, man.
And none of them were replaceable head style. They're all the kind of solid wood, and it was just like one piece. It's like you get rid of the mop, you can't have another mop. It's like, well, then you got a dirty floor.
You got to figure something out there.
Yeah.
Chief. You know?
Shippy.
Shippy. Shippy. I like that, Trevor. That's funny. What's up, Shippy?
Shippy.
And before anybody gets offended, we're both retired Navy, so yes, we can talk smack.
That's right. We earned the right.
We served for many, many years. Oh, you getting close already?
Yeah, we're at 140.
Nice.
I was trying to kind of get ahead of the curve because we spent a lot of time
It's part of the process. It's cool. Yeah, I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, so I can't get too tipsy tonight.
I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow as well.
Oh, maybe I'll see you there.
Yeah. Are you going to the?
No, I'm gonna be going on base for mine.
Well, that's where I'm going.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going out of town for some reason.
No, I'm going on base.
Mine's at 10:40. What is yours?
8:40.
Oh,
I'm not gonna wait for you.
Yeah, don't wait around for me, man.
I'm not gonna wait for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring up my shoulder and see, where we have to go with that, because I'm gonna be really upset if they say, well, you need surgery, because that means I won't be able to play guitar for like 6 weeks or something,
Well, have you been to physical therapy yet?
No, I think I don't want to presume anything or whatever, but I'm hoping at least they'll just do an X-ray, and so they can see in there and go, or at least see what they can and go, oh yeah, you damaged the rotator cuff or something. Oh, you have a hairline fracture in your clavicle or whatever, and then go from there as far as how we're gonna try to amend me. I guess I can turn my heat on now, huh?
Well, I haven't started the timer yet, so why don't we wait?
Yeah, that's fine. You know what? I like what we've been doing the last couple of brew days, where I've been giving it about 45 minutes, because that ensures we have a good cushion. We're still not finishing like super late,
Right.
So
the truth is, Steve and I are not lockstep on everything, but there's one area which we absolutely agree on. You got to get your wort chilled as fast as possible.
yeah, right.
As soon as possible. We once did, and for those of you who have seen the broadcast before, you've heard this story, and those of you who haven't, well, you haven't. We once were brewing during the winter, and there was snow everywhere. There's a big snowbank, so we finished brewing, and we threw our beers in the snowbank, and then we went and ate dinner. And we came back out like half an hour, and they were still sitting at 160 degrees.
Yeah,
it was like,
oh,
that's bad.
Well. It's like, ooh.
And that beer,
it wasn't good beer.
Was not good. Neither one of those beers were tasty.
I think
we drank them because.
Well, that was back when we used to only do one batch.
Yeah.
And it was an IPA that we bought from Terry's old place, one of his old recipes before he stopped pretty much carrying brew supplies.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it, but it was an IPA. It had a super big hop schedule. It had dry hopping in it.
Yes.
Anyway, it didn't taste very good in the end, because that wort just was too hot for too long.
Yeah, it cooked too long.
Yeah.
And again, if you've watched previous episodes, you'll hear this one, but it's just like cookies that keep cooking on a sheet.
Or
The
bread
sheet
or whatever.
is still
yeah.
hot. The heat is still there.
Still there.
And so the processes that are done that the heat creates are still happening. Maybe a little bit slower as it cools down, but they're still happening. Whereas if you dump the wort chiller in and go from, which is pretty awesome, because you can literally go from 240 degrees or however hot it is. It's off the scale on this little thing. I know that.
Right. A little thermometers.
So you go from that down to 70 degrees in less than 6 minutes. It is like,
Okay, yeah, that wort chiller is a wonderful piece of equipment. Speaking of Terry's beer, I was impressed with the beer last night. It tasted good to me. It did not have that weird taste like we used to talk about.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You should go try the mystery machine, but not yesterday. Yesterday, the mystery machine wasn't great. It wasn't gross, but it wasn't great.
Right.
But there's been a couple times where it's like, for something you swept off the floor, that's not bad.
It wasn't bad. That whatever that round was that you brought me, the dark one.
That was a Quaker Stout.
The Quaker, that's right. That was good. I enjoyed that one. That was good. I could taste the coffee in it.
Mm-hmm.
The Terry's American IPA, his IPA is pretty good because it's not super powerful like with a hopness to it. I'm not sure you've had that one yet, but it tastes like just kind of a good old American IPA. It's not super hoppy. It's not cloudy like a New England IPA. It's not you don't get that Christmas tree effect. Liquid Christmas tree.
I actually have I had that. I'm sure I have. In fact, I know I have. The thing is, when we go down there, we do flights, right? And so me and Wendy and the boys will all go down, and we get 2 flights. And I know Wendy's not an IPA person, so I kind of move around the IPA.
Yeah, she likes to refer to that as blackout beer.
Yes.
And Brand is the same way. She doesn't like those hoppy beers, man.
Yep. Well, to each his own.
Yeah, exactly. All right, man. I'm gonna fire up.
I just fired. I just hit.
Is your timer on?
Yeah, my timer is. The timer is timing.
What is it at right now, actually?
29 minutes and 24 seconds.
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait a little bit.
Like I just hit 150.
Yeah, no worries, man. No worries, mate. No offense to any Australian viewers. Love Australia. Been there 6 times.
I wonder if anybody thinks American accents are cool.
No.
I don't think they do.
There's a TV show I'm watching on HBO Max. I was telling you about called The Leftovers. Weird TV show. Well, one of the actors is I can't remember his name, but he was Doctor Who for a while, the modern Doctor Who, the male Doctor Who. I can't remember his name though, but he's playing an American preacher in this show, and I know who he is obviously because it's like I recognize him from Doctor Who, but he's obviously not speaking with a British accent, because he's an American character. But is even though I'm not hearing anything slip through, like sometimes when a British actor plays an American character, certain vowels kind of slip through in their native tongue, in their mother
native
tongue.
The mother
tongue, but he's doing a good job at not doing that. But the way he's speaking though, it doesn't sound natural though.
Did you?
Not terrible. It's like I can tell he's trying to sound not like something else.
Did you ever watch American Psycho?
Yeah, the one with Christian Bale, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, did you know about you? But when I listened to his character, it's like, why is he talking so weird? Because he had this very strange way of talking, right? And that was kind of at the beginning of his career a little bit.
Oh. Where is he from?
He's from England or Australia. He is not American.
Oh.
I don't know. We have the power of the internet at our fingertips.
I know we do, don't we?
Anyways, it was just interesting to me. I was like, I wonder if what that was that they really either I don't know what kind of budget American Psycho had. I don't know if it's a real big budget movie or what. But it makes me wonder if for whatever reason they were like, look, this is the best we're going to get. And so they just went with it. Because he talked really weird. like it was a very strange accent. It's like, it's not American. It's not British.
I didn't realize he was, not natively American. That sounds kind of weird, but you know what I mean.
Natively American.
Natively American.
Well, Well, he's definitely not natively American. We already had the discussion about the Native American influence on Native American language.
But I didn't realize he was from somewhere else. You
Yeah,
know,
we're
Europe,
about-
Australia, wherever. You know,
We are about to
South Africa, maybe. Who
find out.
knows? Yeah.
Where are you from, Mr. Bale? He is English. Oh my gosh,
Oh.
is he English?
No kidding, huh?
Christian Charles Philip Bale is an English actor.
Wow.
I'm not going to even apologize for my bad British accent.
Okay, well, I'll do that.
Christian Charles Philip Bale. Okay, Mr. Bale. Well, maybe in England it's just cool. I know over here, when you got 3 first names, it's
Well,
a little
you know,
pretentious.
Well, down in Mexico, it's common to tack on a bunch of like family names, you know, over the generations. That
Well,
super
so-
long name, you know,
so no,
especially
that's-
last names, you know.
No, there's a specific
Yeah.
that is a Latin American thing.
Mhm.
Well, I don't know about Brazil, so I know it's Spanish for sure, but the Hispanic thing. But it is the father's name is first, and then the mother's maiden name is last.
Oh, okay.
So when you get like, you know, Hernandez Cortez,
Right. That
right?
both names. Yeah.
So the father's last name is Hernandez, and the mother's maiden name was Cortez.
Cortez,
so they,
yeah.
I think I can double check
Hyphenated,
that.
yeah.
Right. Oh, I saw one the other day. Holy cow. This guy had like an 18-syllable last name,
Wow.
and it was
Is it
Hispanic.
German? Oh.
No, it was Hispanic. Yeah, was it German? Yeah.
No, that'd be 18 consonants in a row.
Yes. 18 words. The Germans, it's like, we need a word for this. Nah, let's just glue 2 words together.
I can't remember what the word is, but it's about this long. It's one word, but it means a phrase though, and I can't remember what it was. I was studying it earlier today. I'm like, I better write that one down. I'm gonna forget that. So I did write it down, and I still forgot it apparently. Yeah, single word.
Well done.
But it means we would say something in a phrase form. But yeah, it's one word.
So we had a good day at church today.
Yeah.
Had brats and beer after church.
Ooh, brought some beer.
Yeah, they're raising.
Das schmeckt so gut, ja.
Yeah, they're raising money for the funeral fund, which I know sounds weird. Most churches have a building fund. My church has a funeral fund, but it's actually a big deal. So in Orthodoxy, I have to be careful not to like make any sort of claim to fame or like knowledge from Orthodoxy because I don't necessarily know everything about it. But I do know this is one of the places that Orthodoxy lands. And the Gnosticism. I don't know if you've ever heard of Gnosticism.
Yeah, I have.
So one of the things that the Gnostics say is that matter, physical stuff, is bad, right? So spirituality, spiritual stuff, God and the angels, good. Your soul, right? That stuff, that's good.
The ethereal stuff.
Right.
Ethereal, whatever
But
the word is.
matter is bad. And Orthodoxy rejects that. And Orthodoxy is really big on your body. Like
Right.
your body is good. It is
Okay.
important,
Yeah.
right? And
I
so
agree.
they're really against things like cremation. But see, here's the thing: is they think your body is good before you die and after you die.
Right. Okay.
And this relates to verses in Scripture where it
Sure.
says, you know, the dead in Christ will rise, and you know we'll have glorified bodies.
Guess you can't rise if you're
Yes, if you burned your body up and then ground your bones into bone meal.
a bucket of ashes. But if you rise, doesn't that make you undead?
Only if you think of people as being dead. It's very weird because in Orthodoxy, death is not like you're in a state. It's like death is a gateway. It's like you're still alive. You're just like separate from your body.
You're just not alive here.
Yes, you're not on this plane.
Oh, so you're not on the prime material plane anymore.
Right. But the prime material. Okay, I missed something there. You just zinged me and I don't even know it. You know, it doesn't count as a zing if the guy you're zinging doesn't know he got zinged.
No, it was just a Dungeons and Dragons reference.
Oh, okay.
Same with the undead thing, you know.
Right.
They can
No, the undead was funny. I got that one at least. But no, actually, you're right. So it's, I don't claim to understand it all. And to be honest, a lot of Orthodox won't claim to understand.
Oh, it's very
Orthodoxy is
abstract, right?
one of those religions is like, we don't know.
It's very abstracted, like, you know.
Yeah, but it's, you know, anyways, there's an afterlife. So the idea is, so like the Protestant belief is kind of like when you die, you like go to sleep.
Ah, okay.
So all the dead people, they're not dead, like gone, right? Their soul isn't destroyed. They're going to come back. But at this point, they're like in a coma, a really, really long coma. Whereas Orthodoxy believes, no, you're on the other side. So like the saints and people, that's why Orthodox pray to saints. And it's not praying to saints like God. It's more like, so if we were both Christians and I was having a hard time to like, pray for me, man, right? Well, if you believe that the saints are still alive, then you can say, pray for me, man. It's the same idea.
Okay. Right.
It really is. It's just that the saints are saints. You know, they've kind of demonstrated they're pretty saintly. Yeah. So
even though I think that, sorry, I think that saint spells his name differently than me. But
are you named after the first martyr?
Possibly. Whoever Saint Stephen was, yeah.
Saint Stephen.
Stephen.
Saint Stephen. Saint Stephen was the first martyr.
Does he spell his name with a PH or a V?
PH.
Yeah, I'm a V.
I don't know of any Saint Steves.
Saint Steve, yo! Ow, that hurt my shoulder to do that. Steve, it's message. Saint Steve was like, come on, man. Don't use my name in vain, you know?
In any case, so the body's important. How do we get on the body being important? Something about burials. Funeral funds.
Funeral funds, yeah.
There we go. I'll get back to it.
Yeah.
So they had a fundraiser. Whenever a month has 5 Sundays in it,
Right.
and that 5th Sunday, any of the various groups that are going in the church, you know, the women's group,
right.
or in this case, the funeral group, they can do a fundraiser. So this fundraiser went towards securing burial plots in a cemetery for people who couldn't afford burial plots. $4,100 for a burial plot.
Wow.
$4,100 for a hole in the ground.
That doesn't even count for your headstone, does it?
Probably
It's
not.
probably another $2,000 for a headstone, depending on how elaborate you get it, you know?
Yeah, just ridiculous. But anyway, so the idea is because the burial and the treatment of the body after death is very important to Orthodoxy. Like cremation is right out. It's like, no, you do not get yourself cremated. You know, because then your body's gone. It's like, of course, God can do what he wants.
If you don't need your body in this world anymore, does it matter?
See, that is,
if you crossed over to a life in another, plane of existence, why does your body matter in this plane?
Because the belief is not like these strange bodies with wings and, perfect fingernails and no acne. It's like you get your old body back. It's just better. It's like improved, like hydraulic knees, so you can leap over buildings.
Spring?
Yes, something like that.
Hydraulic knees. Should have that.
I am so blasphemous. I am not a good Christian. But the point being is that the body is important, and there is a belief that that body is going to be resurrected. That body. Now it's all bones.
Okay, that's my question. The belief is of that body, then that makes sense.
Right. That body is important.
Because the
so
empirical part of me is just like, well, what does it matter if your soul's crossed over? You don't need this body anymore, But wouldn't the body in the next world come from that next world, though?
Well, I don't know, because in the Bible it also says, you came from dust and you'll return to dust, and it says God created man from dust, and so I imagine when God comes back and does.
Well, that might just be a reference to the body, a dead body just naturally rotting,
Right. Well, I think it is.
Rots away, over time. So
it is. So I don't know, man. I really don't know, because there's not a lot of this is a delicious beer.
That wasn't anything. I wasn't making a statement there.
You are a horrible liar. This horrible. Yeah. It's like, let's calm that down. You're gonna knock over the monitoring system.
Don't worry, our staff will pick it up. Oh wait, we don't have a staff.
Yeah, what staff? Sure, we could use some staff. Boy, howdy. Anyways, so that was the fundraiser, was for the funeral fund, and what it does is for people that can't afford a burial plot, it does that, and also it does some power of attorney stuff, because a lot of us have non-Christian, some people have non-Christian family. Some of us have Protestant family who won't know, and they might be like, well, you're dead and I want to do this. I want this. I want to cremate you, yada, yada, yada. Particularly if you die unannounced, and you get this power of attorney, and then whoever you give the power of attorney to is able to step in and say, no, this is their wish. They want to be buried Orthodox style in here.
Right. Okay.
And Orthodox burials are kind of green burials. Like there's no embalming fluids. It's nothing like that. You know, I
It's
mean,
all natural in a sense.
yeah, we have a guy in our church who builds caskets. They look like bookshelves until you get to use them,
Okay.
and then they become caskets. Like they do. There's this really nice. I mean, it's a really beautiful thing. Really nice bookshelf. It's not the funky shape, right?
Right.
It's just rectangular, right? But it's good enough. And he custom builds them. Oh man, he was having such a rough day the other day. I mean, really, this is touching. He had a rough day because he had to build a coffin for like a 6-year-old.
Oh.
And he built it 2 sides, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And so he was just, I saw him over there, and he was literally bawling in the middle of the downstairs. You know, we were doing coffee hour.
Yeah.
Just broke down. That's got to be rough, though.
Yeah, I mean, you're building a coffin for a child. You know?
Yeah,
ideally, you should never have to do that, you know?
Right. Yep.
You know?
But we don't live in a perfect world.
No, we don't. We don't live in an ideal world.
So anyways, yeah, but he builds coffins. I'm actually thinking about getting one, but they're all wood. So eventually they're going to rot and go
That's
away.
natural, yeah.
Which does mean that your headstone's going to fall over, by the way.
Yeah?
Yeah, all those, you know, the classic creepy graveyard where all the headstones are tilted. The reason the headstone's tilted is because you had this pocket of air, the body rotted, the casket rotted,
right,
and then it just caved in.
Caved in, yeah.
And so the headstones fell over.
I used to live next to a graveyard like that, like classic Halloween graveyard on the hill. It was when I was in
Did
Massachusetts.
mist seep out of it every so
Yes,
often?
it did actually.
Wow!
I mean, not even exaggerating. It was in Massachusetts.
Nice.
When my dad and I were there, you know, we were living in Fitchburg, Massachusetts, which was, I have no idea what size the town is. That's so long ago, but it was a town that was relatively close to the base, you know, where my dad was stationed, in, you know, in the Army. And yeah, we lived here. There was a road, and then there was a road we lived on, and the next road over, you could see it from my house, was the graveyard, and it was your classic hill graveyard on a hill with the bent over stones. And I remember walking through there, you know, when I was like 9 years old doing this, you know, walking around in the graveyard during the day, of course. Some of those stones had like 1800s dates on them, and when someone died, you know, they were buried in like 1887 or something, you know.
Well, you know, the thing is, as humans, we take that very seriously.
Yeah.
And that is all cultures. I mean, just here in town, when they've done, you know, projects, ran across a human bone, and the Native American community said, yeah,
that's a graveyard.
That's because this is a gravesite, and suddenly it became a big deal. Now we got to figure things out.
Right.
Because we do, you know. I mean, some cultures take it to the ultimate extreme, thinking about the Egyptians and the pyramids that you can see from space.
That's a hell of a gravestone.
Yep. Whoa! Now that's a tombstone.
Here lies.
Yeah, and some other cultures, but still, the whole concept of death is just like, as humans, snappies. Those are my favorite. My wife calls them the smelly feet chips because they do kind of smell like feet.
Sour cream and onion chips smell like feet.
That
in my
too.
opinion.
So anyhow, there's the whole, you know, death is a very big thing for humans. Pick your culture. You know, pick your culture. And the idea of a human dying has, you know, it's always serious. In some cultures, you know, human sacrifice, you know, like the Aztecs and the Incas and Mayans. I don't know if all 3 of those civilizations did human sacrifice. I know at least one of them did, you know, because you hear about it.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole idea is you sacrifice a human and now you get
rain or something.
You know, and of course they're not the only culture to do human sacrifice and things like that.
Oh no. Those like African cultures did human sacrifice, you know.
Mm-hmm. You're literally eating chips off your chest now.
Mm-hmm. Popcorn, actually.
Close enough. So anyways, it's just the whole death thing. So it's kind of a morbid, funny thing. You know, there's a lot of things in Orthodoxy that if you're like your standard Protestant American or you've grown up in Protestant America, you'll chuckle at. Like, I don't know, like watching your wife do shots of Jägermeister next to your priest. Huh? That one will...
Chief, he's probably doing them too.
Yeah, it was a cheap. No. But yeah, so brought some beer. It was definitely a heavy metal concert level beer though. It was like $4 for not even a whole beer. It's like, ooh, that's expensive.
Oh, wow, that was heavy metal beer. It would be like $18 for a for a pint.
Okay, so no, it wasn't a pint. It was like 6-8 ounces. It was
Oh.
just,
Mini
but
beers.
I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. You know. And all the way to my dying day, I will just never cease to be amazed at drinking beer in my church. Just because I grew up Protestant, where beer was just like, you didn't talk. It's like the Baptists, you know, they don't recognize hierarchy or each other at the liquor store. You know, beer was like, no. And everybody drank beer. Everybody drinks beer, but you just never talked about drinking beer.
Right.
You know, it's kind of a weird thing.
You don't talk about it, it doesn't happen.
First rule of beer club is we don't talk about beer.
We don't talk about it.
Which is absolutely wrong. First rule of beer club is tell everyone, bring your friends and bring some more beer.
Bring more beer. Make it and bring it.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter Bailey asked me today. I know you know who she is, but for the crowd that we don't have.
No, there's one. There's
we got one?
Hello, viewer.
Hey, viewer. I didn't realize we had a viewer, man.
And I don't think it's me.
Is it actually not us this time?
It's not me. I'm not watching myself.
That's funny. No, Bailey, my daughter asked me this. She's like, Dad, do you enjoy making beer? I was like, yeah. I said, I told her it has frustrating moments when you have boilovers or just dumb things happen when you're trying to do your beer. But I said it's fun to do it. You get to hang out, and I said the best part is you get to drink it when it's ready. You know. She's like, yeah, that makes sense. I'm like, yeah. I just thought it was funny that Bailey asked me if I enjoyed making beer. You know.
It's like
absolutely, I enjoy making beer.
You think crockpot recipes take a long time,
right?
Let's try making beer.
Some beers take like a long time to make, not even the standard, 5 weeks, a month or so, whatever.
Like freaking lagers, maybe?
We could actually probably reduce the time, but I like the aging that we let happen. Because we let the beer sit in primary for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean,
instead of 10 days,
So we could say 4 days there.
4 days there, and then maybe only do secondary for a week. Guy I was working with, he homebrewed for like 20 plus odd years, and he was saying, yeah, after a while, I stopped even doing secondary. I just go right from primary to the keg. He's just like, I can't remember if there was a reason why, or if he was just kind of like, I don't care anymore, because sediment's going to settle in the keg anyway, and you just purge it, and then you have your beer, So I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe he just wanted to drink it sooner.
I like going into secondary because I think it
helps.
I think it changes the flavor.
It does, because it still ferments a little bit more, but it's not full of all the trub and crap in the bottom of the.
Yeah, I mean, if you keep your keg at 60 degrees, okay, it'll keep going till it's done. But
Trevor said one time, about like with beers, sometimes you need patience. Let it sit. It'll become what you want it to become. I can't remember exactly the full details of the story, but he had made a beer, caved it, somehow forgot about it, got distracted, something happened, forgot about it, found this keg of beer after some long amount of time. It's just like, I wonder if this will be any good. And so, he chilled it and tapped it and drank it. It was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. It was really good beer, but it sat in that keg airtight for months, whatever it was. I forget how long it was. And then he drank it and he said it was great,
Yeah, no, those 2 bottles of beer that they gave us.
Oh yeah.
Where they did,
over a year or something like that.
Right. What was the difference with those beers?
Yeah, I don't remember he told us, but yeah, there was something different about each one.
They were like identical beers, but done.
Something was different.
One had like dry malt extract, and the other had corn sugar.
Yeah.
Or something.
Maybe
what it was.
That's what it was. How they carbonated.
We can watch the episode. It's preserved
in
posterity. No.
Yeah. We have how many episodes now?
This is only like 57.
That's 56 episodes we have to watch and figure out which one it is.
No, we only have to go back like 10. Because that was fairly recently.
Oh,
back to the summer. We know it was when it was one of the summer episodes.
Right.
So that narrows it down to 5. Because it's never summer in this godforsaken chunk of ground.
No.
The land of rain and mud
going down. But it's clear and sunny today. Usually, the last few broadcasts have been this haze gray.
Yeah. It's actually kind of nice today. It is nice.
I'm going to change my eyes out because
which is probably why it's going to be really cold tomorrow morning. They say it's supposed to get cold. like cold. By the way, I'm ready, sir. I've catched it up.
Catched it up.
Catched it up.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
my cowboyish influence on the cowboy language.
And I'm ready to steep my grains. We fill beers and then I'll put my grains in there.
Hey, it's Jade. One of the guys, girls. It's the one from.
For the mansion?
No, yes, from the mansion.
Oh, okay.
The one down in Seattle or Seattle-ish.
That's right. Yeah.
One of our most like our most recent follower.
That's right. Cool.
Hello, sir, ma'am. Damn it.
You're just not on point today, are you, sir?
No, I'm just gonna sit here and be quiet for the rest of the episode. Just silent.
On behalf of you.
Oh man.
What?
Never mind.
What?
I was gonna say let's hit my Scotch ale, but we'll drink this
Oh,
one
I
and
forgot
then
you
we'll
brought
hit my
some.
Scotch.
All right. I forgot you brought some, dude. Yeah, we'll heat things up and then we'll switch.
So, how are you today? Jade.
Well, there's probably a delay, so.
True. Well, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, no, I know. I got you, man. All right. Yeah, I forgot you brought Scotch Ale, so. Yeah, too bad we didn't. We could have used pot cam and like for my keg setup, but that's all right.
Pot cam is not gonna make it, dude.
No.
Look how short that USB cable
Oh, yeah,
is.
that's
Not long enough.
No, we need a wireless camera then that we can move around with, and it'll still communicate with the computer and the
Well, we are going to get a new computer and a new setup soon.
Yeah.
This bugger is dying.
Oh, great.
Oh yeah.
I meant
You're gonna be-
the ideal steeping temperature.
Yep.
Turn that down a little bit. All right.
So I got 4 minutes left.
Interesting. 4 minutes.
My pronouns are she, her. I'm good, thanks. No delay, just eating. How are you two tonight? I was good until I just thoroughly embarrassed myself. And yeah, so now Steve's going to do the rest of the broadcast, and I'm just going to sit here.
You're going to sit there and sulk?
Yes, pout. No, we're doing good. Brewing tasty beers, as always. Steve's brewing a coffee lager, and I'm brewing a peanut butter milk stout. We are not just eating.
There we go. All right.
That is totally going to fall off that spoon.
No.
Okay.
No, it's not.
I'm telling you.
Never!
All right.
That's what false spoon.
I told you it was going to fall off that spoon. You got to get the knot on the other side. On the other side.
There we go. Oop, almost too hot.
That's going to fall off the spoon. He's going to do one of these. It's going to go bloop. I guarantee it.
All right. Set my timer. I am steeping. My temperature is a little high, actually. Not grossly high, just a hair.
You know what? It's true. You just don't know nowadays. Although I heard someone say the other day, I forget what I was watching, and it was a disinterested person. So it wasn't like one of the conservative commentators or the progressive liberal commentators making a statement. It was someone who was just making an observation about trends. And they were saying that they think that the pronoun thing is finally going away.
Oh, okay.
Which, thank God for it. It's like, regardless of your position on the entire transgender thing, it's just the whole pronoun thing. And that is just like, not only is it virtue signaling, but it's forcing other people to virtue signal. And it's just like, hello, Steve, he, him. It's like, well, I don't use pronouns. And then you're a jerk because you don't use pronouns. It's like, what? I mean, I do. I, me, those are my pronouns. But, it's like, so seriously, is it not so much on the transgender side? All right, we'll just put that off to the side because you can't go into those waters without hitting controversy everywhere.
Right.
But just on the concept of everybody needs to declare. It's like, well, how about we just start, and then if you're wrong,
Politely correct them.
He didn't say, I'm sorry, I actually would prefer you to call me by my home name all the time. Okay, Steve. This is my buddy Steve. Steve likes to go to the store. Steve. Why? Steve doesn't have pronouns. He's just Steve. When he talks about himself, it's kind of weird. Steve went to bed last night. You mean you? Yes, Steve. Dude, pick pronoun. I'll even take a made-up one at this point, dude. I can't just say Steve everything. Steve's going to go to the store. You want to go with Steve? It's like, stop it! But seriously, this guy was saying he thinks that trend is kind of easing. You know, there's still some people, I think there's a lot of people who just forget about their handle, you know, on Twitter or Facebook or wherever their social media is.
Right.
I know I do a lot. You know, I haven't, it's like, you know, I should change my Twitter profile picture. I haven't changed it in like 8 years. And then there's other people that are always changing it. You never know if you're talking with the same person.
Right.
I got a few people I follow that are like that.
I solved that problem for myself. Wow.
Yeah, you locked yourself out of all your own social
I don't
media.
I don't get on social media.
Social media is important, dude.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Not to me. It's not important to me. But okay, I don't judge people who want to use social media. I do use social media. I use YouTube, and I comment on YouTube a lot. You know.
Oh, do you? So that is a social media
thing. But I do periodically. I'll comment on a really good video, or if there's a question I have. And I've actually had a conversation with some of the content creators on the videos I've watched.
It's time.
It's time.
All right, so we got to respond though. It's still pretty aggressive on social media. Plus, you're the a-hole if you mix up their pronouns. Yeah, and that's what we were just talking about. It's like,
if I get it wrong, just politely correct me, you know, and I'll respect whatever you want me to call you. You know?
Well, look right here, right? So Jade, dude, chick, ma'am, sir, right? Haha.
Hey, she clarified
my
for
pronoun,
you.
Right, and she clarified.
Right.
There you go.
Very
okay.
Very polite.
And
you know?
on we go.
Right.
You know, it's like, yeah, just getting. It's like the whole microaggression. All right. Microaggressions and go. I know. I throw the controversy on you, the guy that doesn't want controversy. But seriously,
what are you doing?
I hit time. It's time to.
Why did you crank all your heat up?
Because I don't know. Because I'm getting excited about.
You don't need the heat right now.
Look, shut up and give a dissertation on microaggressions, will you?
Oh, microaggressions are BS, man.
Well, they are, and once again, without being
unnecessary BS is what I mean.
I mean, there are certain things that are, you know, a little jerky.
Yeah.
Like the jerky boys.
Sure.
You know, like, oh, you're Asian, you must be good at math. You know, that's an assumption.
Right, assumptions, stereotypes,
right?
Yeah.
That sort of thing. You didn't see that. I did not just.
He just made a mess on the floor.
Stuff. You need to mop. I'll mop your floor tonight.
It's fine. I'm joking.
Anyways, so on the one hand, that's legitimate, right? You know, you see an Asian person. Where are you from? Los Angeles.
Right. Kansas.
You know, I mean, once in a while, like there was. Oh, where was the lady from? Tibet. There was this lady from Tibet came into the store the other day. Now she had her son with her, right? And they either came to America so soon that he never developed a Tibetan accent. I don't know, is that Chinese?
Is that even a thing? The Tibetan accent?
Well, I know there's the whole free Tibet thing.
Yeah, I know.
Stickers for forever.
Because I'm pretty sure China would like to snuff Tibet, or at least the Dalai Lama. Yeah.
So anyhow, so he had no accent, right? American accent. So if I had to talk to him and he had a weird last name, I actually have this sidestep for that, right? I see a last name, I'll say, where's your last name from?
Right.
Or where's your name from if the whole name is definitely foreign? And that's a way of acknowledging you're probably American.
Right, but your lineage is
black. Your lineage is coming from someplace interesting.
Right.
It definitely isn't Smith, you know.
Or Smythe.
Or Smythe? Smythe, you're from Wales, aren't you? I don't even know.
No, I don't know either.
However, Peter could straighten us out.
Well, I heard, speaking of whales, I heard an interesting little factoid on the radio. I don't know if it's true or not, but there are more sheep than people in Wales.
Do they use the sheep dung to smoke whale testicles to make the beer?
No, that's in, where was that?
Iceland.
Iceland, yeah.
Iceland.
I should ask Thea. I should ask Thea about that.
Whale testicle smoked beer.
I should ask Thea. She's from Iceland.
Thea is from Iceland?
Yeah, she's full on Icelandic.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, she has like zero accent.
Well, I think she's been here for quite a while, but she is born and raised in Iceland, then came over here as a child.
Oh, cool.
Or a teenager, maybe. I can't remember. She said she came over.
Did we get to the beer yet? Yes, we're making beer. All right.
She's like, you're talking about everything but beer.
Entertain our loyal viewership while I go fetch my my malts.
Hey, we have more folks.
Yeah, Peter's here. Jade's
What's
here.
up,
You know who's not here?
Who's not here?
Nathan.
That's true. Oh, maybe he's busy. Yeah,
Well, you know, you're allowed to be busy.
I know, right? You're allowed to be busy. Well, hello, folks. Welcome to the show again. Glad you all can make it. I know Jamey said what he was doing, but it kind of bounced off my head, and I didn't catch what he was doing. So maybe he'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, so Peter's clarifying some Welsh names for us.
Yes, tell us about Welsh.
Jones and Edwards.
Jones and Edwards?
They're known as Welsh names. It says, however, Edwards is actually an old English name. It says we ran away to Wales when the Romans invaded. He's laughing. Okay.
Smart guys. Those Romans were not kind. I'd have run away to Wales.
Right.
Although that's a lot like running away to Fifth Avenue from here.
Fifth Avenue? Nice.
Not Fifth Avenue, New York, like Fifth Avenue in town. Yes, I'm making fun of the fact that your whole country's the size of Michigan. Ha! Wait, keep entertaining. Okay. I gotta add mulch.
Are you not entertained? I couldn't resist. Sorry.
I want to keep moving because there was that one time where we had everything right, and then I burned up every bit of lead time, chatting and not doing something.
Not doing the important stuff.
Yeah. So you respond to our loyal fans,
That's right.
and I will dump molasses into my beer.
And he's gonna get sticky.
You shut up.
So.
I know.
Hey, that chat is faster than this chat because I just saw it update over there, but not update here.
It's been that way for forever. It's like when I was on Busker,
Uh-huh.
my laptop, once Busker developed a laptop version of itself, laptop was faster than my iPad. Forever and ever. So did not get sticky.
Apparently we were entertained enough that Peter wasn't even playing the chat tonight, but he's like, I can't help it. I gotta get on here.
It's right.
So he's joining the chat with us. Well, glad you joined us.
Glad you're here, my fine Welsh friend.
Oh, is that offensive? I don't even know.
Even if it is, I think Peter's got a thick enough skin to deal with it.
Right. Well, I'm not sure if you heard this earlier, but we're drinking Wee Heavy, some Scottish Ale, and then Jamey brought some Scottish Ale over, which we haven't tapped yet, but we're going to hit it up here pretty soon. I did drink his ale the other night, which is good. He did a good job with his. Mine is very strong. The ABV is 10.24, percent alcohol. And when I first brewed it, I was concerned that it was going to taste like alcohol, or you taste the alcohol in it at least. And surprisingly, once it's carbonated, it did not taste like alcohol. So,
which is a big thing because if we wanted hard alcohol,
we would
distill,
right?
But we don't. We brew beer because I really don't like, I'm not tough enough to deal with that roily alcohol up through the nose thing. I'm a wussy. I just like beer.
Beer's good stuff.
Ah.
So it looks like he's been having a noise problem in his studio. He's been,
like electronic noise?
Tearing it apart, trying to figure out what's going on. Noise on the mic through the OBS.
Oh, so
noise suppression destroys the piano, though. He's like, Is
that so Dan had the same problem using OBS, and it was when he updated.
Oh.
He updated and suddenly
everything stopped working right now. Yeah, that's so typical in the free software world, man. In the open source world, you update something and all of a sudden everything breaks, you know.
Yeah, which is why you always.
And I'm all about open source software. I use Linux. You know, I used to, when I was an active software developer, I used Linux as my operating system for all that. But yeah, that's an unfortunate risk in the open source world. And OBS is open source, so you know, sometimes they make breaking changes. Well, I don't know enough about it to try to offer any advice, so good luck. Hope you find the problem at least, you know.
Yeah, I don't
have any experience with OBS, so.
What? You use it every 2 weeks.
Well, okay. Yes, we use it for our broadcast, but it's your computer. You're the one that configures it, you know.
Well, we scratch the very tip of the iceberg when it comes to OBS. You can do a lot of stuff with OBS.
So Peter's okay with the built-in suppression, but he says it sucks when it comes to like instruments, pretty much. You know, not for instruments or affected voices, but other than that, other applications, he says the built-in noise suppression is fine. You know, it works.
Well, sure. I bet it'd be great if you were doing a gunfire video.
We're gonna capture all these gunfire explosions.
Yeah, and they're not gonna overdrive the system. You know, my iPad is like that when I like video the boys and that grand piano gets going, it tries to do this noise suppression thing and it just jacks it. It sounds like crap. To the point where now I use the computer and I actually went with older technology and then did, you know, I just controlled the audio myself. Thank you very much. I know how to do these things, like apply compression intelligently so it doesn't make my piano sound like it's playing through a pillow made out of marshmallows dunked in chocolate.
Wow.
It's a food day.
Apparently today's theme is food.
Food.
Peanut butter stout.
Yes.
You know?
No, not just peanut butter stout. Peanut butter, chocolate, milk. Black stout, black flatulent stout.
Oh, flatulent stout.
Because of lactose, which is what gives lactose intolerant people gas. Right. That was your adjective.
He's going to put lactose in his beer, which will make it kind of thick and milky.
Right.
But yeah, lactose intolerant people are not going to enjoy your beer, though, unfortunately. I mean, they might like it, but they're going to be really gassy.
It's okay. That's why God gave us tents.
Right.
I don't know. Have I told the story about when I chased myself out of my own car?
I know I've heard it, but maybe
I know you've heard it. Oh my goodness! So tell them what happens when you drink like the dregs of the beer.
So when you get particulates in your beer, you know, from the brewing process, it's like very, very high in protein, and it tends to produce, you know, a lot of gas in your intestines, your stomach and intestines, you know.
Kind of like weightlifters.
And sometimes, you know, when we make homebrew, not all of it gets filtered away. You know, commercial beer, it's all filtered and processed. You're not going to get any of the sediments in there. But home brewers, they tend to transfer some of the what's called trub into trub into the beer. It doesn't hurt you. It's not toxic, of course. It's just, like I said, very high in protein because of all the minerals and stuff that were in there from the brewing process. So yeah, you tend to get gassy.
So
wives tend to get upset with you.
Yes. So now I don't know about the female viewers, although I suspect it's true and girls just don't tell us about these things. But for the dudes, I know you've all been in the car or in your room somewhere by yourself and you let one loose and you're like, whew, that smells bad. And that's about as far as it goes. Right. And you laugh to yourself. Ha ha ha, this is gonna stink. All right, so I'm driving down the road.
Here we go, fart stories.
Yes, fart story. And now it's fart time with the Northwest Brewmasters. Part of the show where we tell a story.
A new segment.
About a fart. Yes, fart time. New segment. We'll have to add this in.
No, man, no.
It's too late. It's done. The hour of flatulence has come upon us.
I swear we've only had 2 beers, I swear.
Just one. Not even 2.
Trevor, my younger daughter, is looking at us like, you guys are dumb.
You're the one that's writing a song called Melty Ice Cream, so you know what? Leave me alone. All right, so in any case, the night before, I had transferred a beer from the big glass carboy into a smaller glass carboy. And at the bottom of the glass carboy was this liquid portion of the beers that I could not get to. So I thought, I know what I'll do. Oh, look!
There you go.
Show and tell.
This is a carboy made of glass. This is 6.5 gallons. U.S. gallons. I'm not sure if there's a...
Yeah, there's an imperial gallon and then there's a United States gallon.
Yeah, it's 6.5 U.S. gallons. So yeah, he was transferring beer from one of these to a smaller version of one of these.
Right. So anyways, I thought that I could be sneaky and just kind of get that liquid off into a glass, and I'd let it sit for an hour or so and filter itself out, and then I would drink it and be fine. And well, I drank it and I was fine. We really need a production crew so bad.
I'll hire my older child.
Yeah, right?
Like, you want to make about $10?
I will pitch in for this. So anyways, I drank it and I was fine. And then the next day I was driving and I felt the need to relieve a little pressure. So I did. I was like, haha, that's going to stink. And I laughed to myself. Oh my gosh, was I wrong? I mean, it stank all right. I was like, whoa, whoa. I had to pull over and get out of my own car. I had to pull over to the side of the road and leap out of the car. People driving by is like, don't come closer, you'll die.
Excuse me.
Put up tape, toxic waste. Wow. So the moral of the story is, don't drink the troop from your beer that you make. It'll taste fine, but boy, does it have consequences.
And folks, that was Fart Talk by Jamey.
Yes. We now proceed with our regular programming.
Wow. Everybody watching is probably just rolling their eyes. Like, I can't believe these guys.
Well, that's the goal. Look, we can be like ridiculous that way, or we can be controversial. What do you want to do?
I'd rather be silly ridiculous.
All right, silly ridiculous it is.
Yeah.
Stay tuned next week on Flatulence Hour. It'll be Steve's turn. I don't know.
I don't have any cool stories like that.
Well, maybe we'll just go. We'll go around and video people farting and thinking they got away with it.
Wait, hey, no, don't get upset. It's for a show.
We'll go to Walmart.
Walmart, wow.
Gotcha.
People of Walmart, man. Good Lord.
We'll have to get some instruments, and this is a nice, this little methane meter. What? I was like, oh, you were drinking unfiltered beer.
Wow, that's saturated, man. Nobody's commenting on the fart conversation.
Yeah, this is like high school level.
I know,
this is
man.
exactly what we used to.
We're like 15 again on this one.
Yeah. That's all right.
Yeah, I am maintaining ideal temperature for this
No, let me open the door.
one. Oh, let's not do that. I'm at about 68 centigrade, which equates to about 150
Something.
55-ish, 55 Fahrenheit.
All right.
I don't know what that is in Kelvin. I'm not gonna try to convert it to Kelvin and stuff.
Well, doesn't Kelvin?
Kelvin's for like extreme
Kelvin
high or
is
extreme low
271.
temperatures?
0 Fahrenheit is 271 Kelvin, isn't it?
Oh, that's not too much of a difference.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm in college. I knew it, but I don't know anymore. I'm not in college. I haven't been in college for years, man.
Well, it's one of those things that unless you have a use for it.
Right. I just know the Kelvin scale is for extreme high or extreme low temperatures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was used a lot. Like when I took that. What?
Give me the monitor back.
Oh.
I will monitor.
I took that intro to astronomy class in college. It used Kelvin for a lot of like, to represent the temperatures of a planet's surface. That Mars is XYZ Kelvin kind of thing.
All right, Peter's out. He's got a crash.
Oh, okay.
Which is understandable because it is. It's like 1
Take
a.m.
care,
in
Peter.
England.
Glad you got to hang out for a little bit.
8 hours ahead. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, man. Tell your friends. Most professional broadcast this side of the Columbia River.
New segment, Fart Hour.
Yep. No, Flatulence Hour. We are
Flatulence
intelligent.
Hour.
We are intelligent.
You put the pinky up.
Yes, pinky up, Flatulence Hour. Fart Hour. That's like bathroom humor, 14-year-old boy. We're like almost 50-year-old men. Flatulence, please.
Do we still have Jade at least as far as she rolling? That's like I can't do the part thing anymore.
We still have 2 viewers. One of them is me. So we need to get.
One of them is me.
We need to get Nathan's phone number.
Dude,
Just call him. Dude, we're on. Are you gonna? We will call him on the broadcast. Hey, are you guys? Oh, click. Sorry guys, Nathan's not gonna be here.
he'll be here today.
He's actually doing something worthwhile. Oh man.
No, I know. Saying, it's fine, man. A lot of things to do,
Yep. All right, so we're going for the boil on this.
All right.
Which should put me far enough ahead of you that we don't need to worry about.
A little bit more heat, kind of cool enough. I think tonight it's supposed to get really cold.
Well, yeah, look,
Like
no
down
clouds.
in the 20s. Yeah.
Yep. I heard teens.
Teens?
Yep.
Well, I better bring some wood tonight then.
Probably should.
Now I know where we're at and where Jay's at in Seattle. I don't know how much of a temperature variance there is.
Huge.
Is it huge?
So from here down to the mainland, like in the summer, I'll start here. It'll be 67 degrees, and I'll get to the mainland, and it'll be 78 degrees.
Interesting.
That's in 1 hour. I mean, that's
Right.
there's a big difference. Seattle really gets a lot
So-
hotter than we do.
Does the city, because of the nature of the city with the glass and the concrete and whatever, does it kind of insulate itself? Is that the effect that's happening? I'm not a weather type scientist, you know what I mean? So I don't know.
So actually, yes.
Or the
Urban centers.
more traffic because of the exhaust and stuff. You know?
Well, urban centers are naturally hotter, and
Right.
it is because you have all sorts of reflective surfaces.
Right.
You have black roads, you have steel, you have glass. I mean, it's just this. It's a heat magnifier. It just naturally does it. So, it's not so much the traffic and although maybe the increased CO2, but foresty, plant-covered areas are cooler.
Covered? Plants covered? That is.
I did not say that. I said plant-covered. I don't know what you're hearing. Maybe tomorrow at the doctor you should get a hearing check too.
I'm hearing wee heavy talking.
I think we could check the replay and I'll come out just fine. Don't check the replay. We're supposed to. Just be quiet. Just stand over there. Why are you making fun of me? See here.
Funny. Make fun of me. Anyway,
You're supposed to be the comic relief. I'm supposed to be. This is not fair. Go. Oh look, Jamey alone.
Again?
Bye. Do your thing. So I do know that cities are warmer than the countryside, and islands are more moderate than the mainland. In fact, the closer the ocean itself really helps to moderate temperature, which is why on Whidbey Island, the temperature is the swings are not nearly as dramatic as they are in the mainland down in Seattle or Arlington or places like that. And this has been your meteorological debate, all by myself. So, I think we're going to switch it over now because, number one, that spoon is really hot. And number two, we're growing up on the boil. So now it's time for Pot Cam! Dun, dun, dun. This is the part of the show where we put a camera out here and let people watch. This is the part where it'd be really nice if we had a production crew so you didn't have to do the whole nauseating thing. By the way, your beer boiled over while you were gone.
No.
I know. So we went ahead and went to Pot Cam.
Ah, okay.
Man, I got a lot of foam, and I'm not even using dry malt.
I don't know, man.
Oh.
Getting a little water. I think I'm down to about 4 minutes or so on my 4 minutes and about 10 seconds on my steep.
So you're about ready to kick over into
boil mode.
Man, I heard some interesting things to talk about.
So Well,
and I've totally forgotten it.
Jade, are you a beer person? If I asked that before, I apologize. I don't remember what the conversation was. Last time that you joined us.
Well, it was a little bit harder because last time there was quite a few people, and so
It was a huge chat.
the whole
going
talk
on,
amongst yourselves thing went on, which is fine.
Right.
In fact, that happened here too. Jones and Edwards are known as Welsh names.
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier.
English. We ran away to Wales. The Normans invaded us. So, anyways, it got. Even Nathan's not really a beer person.
No, it didn't sound like he was.
Well, he makes mead.
Yeah, makes mead.
So that's his thing.
I thought he mentioned, maybe I'm conflating, but I thought he mentioned that he likes wine, or maybe periodically he likes wine.
Well, that's what mead is.
Well, I don't. Mead's a form of wine, honey based, not fruit based. But I think when he's not doing mead, I think he enjoys wine with whatever he's doing.
Yeah, I don't know. I know he goes out because he goes out and drinks beers out in town.
Oh, okay.
Because more than once he has watched us from a bar.
No kidding.
Yeah. He's like,
that's pretty loyal.
Kind of hard to hear. The sports bar is loud tonight. If we were to go back through some episodes, we'd see that.
But he mentioned once, possibly meeting up because as you know, Brandy, my wife, her family, she and her family, they're all from Florida.
Right.
And he mentioned once meeting up, possibly when we go visit her family. So
I tell you, it is kind of fun to meet people that you only know online. When I met Peter and Jem, actually went to England, that was a hoot. It's like, holy crap, here's two people that I've only seen them in a little tiny box.
That's how last night was with Zach. I only knew him through.
Well, you hadn't even seen his face, to my knowledge.
I only knew him through the reverb.com website. I bought an amplifier off Zach, and this is way earlier in the year, and then right around Christmas time, he sent a message asking me how's it working out. And I thought it was really cool. I was like, oh, thanks for following up, man. It's a good amplifier. I'm enjoying it, And then he wrote back later saying that, yeah, cool. I'm glad it's working out for you, kind of thing. That he and his family were moving back here to where we're at after the New Year. And then he contacted me about a week ago saying, hey, we're pretty much settled in. You want to meet up for a beer or do some jamming? And that was last night or yesterday afternoon when we met him at the Wicked Teton.
Right.
Seems like a cool dude. I think it'd be cool to hang out and jam and do guitar stuff and.
Yeah, it would be cool, man. I'm gonna have to get a double bass pedal apparently.
Yeah.
Oh,
when's your birthday?
October 9th.
Oh. When's your beer day?
Tomorrow.
Yes.
Dude, you're more than welcome to help me buy this $700 pedal, but okay.
No way.
I don't buy cheap stuff. And yeah, a decent pedal.
Are you
decent. Oh yeah, $700 easy. You can spend up to $2,000 on a double bass pedal.
I can relate, man, because I've spent some high money on guitars before.
Yep. And a drum kit it's much bigger if you think about it.
Yeah, it takes a bigger beating than other instruments.
Yep.
Because you're either using your feet or your hands, you're smacking the crap out of stuff. Especially a double kick pedal, man. Yeah, you're right. You want something where the bearing and the chain and the mechanical pieces are going to last, obviously. So
right. Well, and they've got they've got, like I said, they have that. I'm going to look it up, and find out exactly what it's called.
Also, sir, the that foot method, that thing where you weird. I forget what you called it, where you use your
toe heel, heel toe. I know. Anyways, what about it?
Well, you should practice that too.
Yeah, I should practice a lot of things.
Because you can kind of trick the double bass pedal doing it that way, You get some serious speed on there. After you get your leg fixed.
Oh, my leg. When I'm sitting down, it's not too bad.
Oh, okay.
7 double bass pedals that are fast. All right. Double drive. Let's see. So there's dual chain drive, which is what I'm probably going to go with. And that's what you're used to seeing. It's the 2 chains that are wrapped around a little tiny gear, and they pull down, and then they come back up and like that. The cat has joined us in this.
What are you doing? Really? It's my own cat. He never comes in the garage though. I'm just kind of making sure he's not gonna pee on anything because he thinks he's exploring
So we're looking for direct drive. That's what they call it. It's a direct drive pedal. And it's basically, it's just a bunch of bell cranks,
Oh, okay.
you know, that,
What are you doing? Gotcha.
but instead of the chains that pull down on a pulley system, it's just direct bell cranks that everything is.
Okay, come here.
So there's very limited slop, but it's also a very sensitive system. And it will, if you have a sloppy foot technique, which I do because I'm not a drummer, you know. So if you have a sloppy foot technique, it'll betray you.
Gotcha. I'm gonna grab my moth man.
All right, more Jamey alone. I spend a lot of time alone.
Love it.
I do. I'm a solitary guy. Lobo. Or what is that? Lobo, solo lobo, the lone wolf. But it sounds much cooler if you say it in Spanish, even though it means the same thing. All right.
Chips. My turn to get sticky.
Right? About time.
How rude. Any comments from anybody? No?
No, not at this point. Although we have 3 viewers.
Oh, sweet.
Somebody showed up.
Well,
Hello, random,
hi, new person.
unidentified viewer.
Hi, new person who showed up. They're probably like, I'm just looking at a couple pots. What's going on here?
You are. You're looking at a couple pots.
We have pot
This
can.
pot is a peanut butter, chocolate, milk, black, flatulent stout.
Flatulence.
Feel free to add further adjectives to this beer. It might take 17 minutes just to say the name of this beer. This right here is going to be a coffee lager. And actually, we've had that one already, and that one is delicious. We haven't had this one yet. We've had a peanut butter chocolate stout. And by we, I mean me and my wife.
We've had our own. We bought peanut butter stouts from Greg.
Oh, yeah, they're good.
At Greg's store, you know.
I'd like to try and make a hazel stout. The next time I want to make this, let's go to regular can.
Oh, speaking of weird ingredients, my friend Larry that I work with who brews, he put rosemary in his beer. He said it was amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind of beer?
I don't remember.
All right. Because I got a feeling that you're not just going to throw rosemary into a peanut butter chocolate stout. And
Oh
make it
no,
amazing.
not that. I'm sure it was something that was a rosemary would work with it, you know. But he's the guy I was telling you about that does small
Yeah, the
batch
1 gallon
all grain.
batch.
Yeah, small batch all grain brewing. Yeah.
Man, I went back to normal can because I had something cool to talk about. And then you
That's
talked
right.
about rosemary, and now I don't know what I was going to talk about. Let's back up. Peanut butter, hazel. Oh, right. So, interesting thing about head retention. Let's talk the science of beer.
So why don't we tell folks what head retention is real quick?
It's where the beer retains its head.
The foam, yeah. Well, some people may not know what that
I
means.
know. And I'm going to go with there.
We have to assume some of our viewers are not beer people, you know.
That's true. Okay, so, however, you got to assume some basic knowledge. You know, you pour a glass of beer, you've got the clear liquid in the bottom and the foaminess on the head, the top, or the head, right? Different beers have different amounts of head, and the thickness of that foam on the top. Can we please be responsible? Please, maturity. We need some sort of level of maturity here.
What?
I'm sorry. Oh, what was this look?
I just looked at the
Why
camera.
don't you just bust out into a Beavis and Butthead laugh? Go for it. Go ahead. Fire. Do it. Come on. I hate Beavis and Butthead. You're the guy that likes them. You grew up on them. You watched MTV, didn't you? Back when they actually played music videos. I bet you did. You did. Admit it.
Yes, I did. Headbangers Ball, 1988.
I wanted to watch MTV, but my mother would see it on, and then she would like threaten to shoot all of us with a real firearm, and it's like, run, Mama's mad. Not really. Oh, my mom was like, she was a card-carrying member of the, what is it, the PRMC?
PMRC.
PMRC, yeah. Much as I love my mother.
I'm sure the PMRC is still around, but
Well,
they're definitely not a threat anymore.
Well, they don't have near the political power, but there are still people that.
Because Al Gore is no longer a, what was he, senator?
Tipper.
Well, Tipper Gore was, his wife was the,
right,
a member of, I don't know if she was like a
ex-wife,
president or something, but then, Al Gore was a senator for a while, then became obviously vice president, So,
oh, let's go back.
Don't boil over, man.
Back to pot cam, because we're about to get exciting. Hooray, boiling. Okay, so anyhow.
You're about to boil over.
We are not going to boil over.
No boilovers.
We're going to get close to boiling over. Down. Calm. Shh.
Hey, slow your roll.
It's okay.
As they say.
It's okay. You'll be all right.
You'll be all right. Here's a safe place for you.
Safe. I will kick you out of your own garage.
Rude.
Rude. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, so anyways, head retention. Head retention is a real thing.
Right. Head retention.
And it has to do with the foam on the top of the beer.
Right.
And certain beers are foamier than other beers. Budweiser, like your American yellow fizzies, which are all Pilsners for the most part. Pilsner lagers.
They're Pilsner lagers, yeah.
They tend to be really fizzy, but they don't necessarily have a lot of foam if you pour them up. Your thicker, darker beers, like stouts, porters, things like that, they'll have a thicker foam. Like the foam itself is thicker.
Sure.
So in any case, what was interesting, and we're getting around to a peanut butter stout is what we're getting. This is the peanut butter stout. One of the reasons.
Man, we should have put these in warm water, dude.
What?
We should have put our glasses in warm water.
That was kind of your job. My flame went out. No wonder I'm not boiling anymore. Although you are right. It was on its way to flame out. I mean, boiling over. So anyhow, what I was saying is that, whoa, jeez. Calm down. Stupid beer. Stupid beer.
Stupid beer. And Homer Simpson voice.
So, since this one is a stout right here, you would expect a slightly thicker, like creamier head on top of it, right? But if you were to add just peanut butter, the oils from the peanuts actually would impact the head retention.
Oh,
and so you'd pour your beer, and even though it was properly carbonated, there'd be like nothing on top.
Right, you're like,
Which is one of the reasons I'm using peanut flavoring. Now, in the future, if I make this beer again, I probably am going to I'll go buy like Adam's natural peanut butter. And what you can do is you can like strain the oil, because the oil separates out of that peanut butter
from the top, yeah.
Right. So because it doesn't have all the emulsifiers and craziness in it. Okay, I'm here yet. All right, so Jade is still here. In any case, so yeah, kind of an interesting thing about the additions that you put into beer. Fats and oils really impact how your
I can't remember
your carbonation at the end, really.
Sure. No, you're right. You're right. Another measure, if I may use the word, is called lacing. And
right.
That is when you drink let's say you have a pint glass, you drink your beer, and
I can't see you, by the way.
I know. You drink a beer out of a pint or any kind of glass, and
well, we could go back to
you kind of see I guess like a bubbly residue that sticks to the edge of the glass, like kind of all the way down the glass. I guess I should use glass more. Yeah. All the way down the glass. That's a sign of I don't know what it means exactly. I can't remember what it means. But the more lacing you have, the more of XYZ, some kind of it's not a good or bad thing. It's just if you have the lacing in your glass, it means something. I feel dumb because I can't remember what it means anymore. I'll have to look it up.
But it just is.
It has to do with the carbonation, the head retention, It factors in, when you said head retention, it made me think of that. It factors into head retention.
Where's my hops?
Up top?
Behind the orange juice?
Probably because my daughter came in and.
Because children.
Because children, yeah.
So just go right there.
The orange juice was not there when we started. Let's put it that way.
Because children.
Because children. Bless their souls.
Bless their souls. You know something? I want to start studying a little bit.
What's that?
I want to start studying how. Yay! You turned it on this time. Look, I don't know how much more peanut gallery harassment I can take. I'm getting it from here. I'm getting it from the audience. I mean, this has been a tough, emotionally damaging broadcast. I might cry.
You can take it.
You're right. I'm not gonna cry. Yeah, the comment. Yay, you turned it on this time. Maybe in the past I've forgotten to turn the OBS virtual camera on, and that was
All right.
not
I'm
fun.
gonna
Anyhow, what I want
start
to
my
check,
boil.
what I want to look into. Wait. Well, I guess might as well go for it.
What?
No, I haven't started mine yet. I know it's boiling, but I haven't added my hops, and I haven't.
You were going
started.
for a while, dude.
I wanted to get it under control. It was all crazy and wild. It was like this insane beast.
It'll take a while for my.
You can't add hops to an insane beast. Unless you want to mop your garage again.
No, I already have to do that anyway. So.
Oh, I guess it doesn't matter.
But you know what? I'd rather mop grain tea than war it with malts in it because that's sugary. You know?
Oh yeah, that's a lot stickier.
This is not going to be sticky. Yeah, this will just be some liquid.
Look at that. Look at this. Look at it. I want you to look at it. It's trying to boil over again.
That's the hops did that, man.
I know the hops did that.
They're like, ha ha ha, boiling
Back.
time.
Back, evil beastie. There's a lot of what is it when you personify inanimate objects? Anthropomorphological.
Oh.
Anthropomorphizing.
Get all literary on us, man. What are you doing?
Linguistic.
Linguistic?
It's I know it's anthropomorphic, but I forget. I tend to put emphases where I want them because it's my language. I'll do what I want with it. But I think that's when I got right. Wait.
It's my language. I'll do what I want with it. Yes, I went there.
And this is why I'm the lead singer. And you're the guitarist. Oh! I don't know what to do. Jade doesn't drink alcohol. At all?
Oh, that's
Interesting.
fine. Nothing wrong with that.
And you're watching a beer broadcast?
I don't think she's here for the beer. She's probably here for our slapstick,
Yes.
silliness, if anything.
Watch this video of these two knuckleheads.
Knuckleheads. They make me laugh.
That's good. You drink coffee?
These were hope you're laughing at our,
Yeah.
our knuckleheadedness.
Totally. All right, we're getting close to textbook.
Yeah, that was pretty good, man. That's it. I mean,
Well, I just gave it a little. Ooh,
a what?
ooh, ooh.
I need to give some more fires of Hades under my boiling kettle here. Now look at the camera. I'm like, or the monitor. It's like, whoa, kind of a neat view. Super fire.
Oh, that looks cool.
There you go. That's a little more controlled that way. How you doing on that beer?
I'm pacing myself. This is a strong beer, 10%. Come on, you can't just slam these things. Can't believe you just wasting yours, slamming through it like it's water. Like tepid tap water. Not even good water. Just slamming those beers. This needs to be savored. This needs to be savored. Savored. All right, I'm trying to catch up. Slow down. Stop. Wait for me.
I'm joking, man. No, it's fine. I know we're gonna switch over to your ale after this one. So.
Yeah.
Fade back.
It is pretty cool. That's the magic of OBS. And I did not update my OBS because Dan did and said, the audio. And I'm
terrible.
Like, memo to me, do not update.
Yeah. I hate it when updates break your stuff, man. It's frustrating as a user of different kinds of software. Anybody out there is gonna relate, I'm sure.
And the thing is, jeez.
What did you forget?
I set the timer.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna go 55 minutes. I'm sure it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Begin. All right.
Begin.
So, anyhow,
Right.
It's not just with free shareware or open source stuff. Even how long did you delay on your various Apple updates? Because you've got software sitting there, and it's like, I don't want to update because my software, all these programs that I use and actually work with, they're not going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I delayed a lot of updates because of that. It's like, you're gonna break my system, so I'm gonna wait until later.
Yeah, I use Finale notation software.
Right.
And for sure, an update comes out, and the first thing you do is go to the Finale forums. How's that working out for you? And you hear all the the early adopters. I lost everything. Yeah. It doesn't work. I can't go back.
I still haven't upgraded my Mac to whatever the latest version is.
Yeah.
I'm still delaying on that one. I accidentally updated my phone, and now I have those stupid fat numbers on the clock. I'm like,
I hate the fat numbers. It's dumb, right? That is dumb. Who cares about fat numbers?
Windows.
I care about
Windows
fat
is
numbers.
no different. I mean, I actually use everything. I use Mac, I use Linux, and I use Windows for all my productivity stuff, depending on what I'm working on.
What do you use Windows for?
Yeah, mostly gaming, and I use it.
Need to be in here. This is gonna be a great trip because I have a friend in Japan.
Yeah, that's gonna help a lot, man. Having someone there that can help you with translation
and
knowing where to go, what they can recommend.
Well, it's just like when I went to England, hooking up with Peter and Jem and Dan, and then instead of just seeing all the tourist trap culture sites,
right?
We did what English people do.
Real England, yeah.
What do English people do? And
right. When in Rome,
I mean, I told you that story, which this will stick with me forever. Where I'm sitting in a bar in England,
right,
and the door opens, and I hear this English dude says, "Oi, they'll let anyone in here," and I knew he was talking about me.
Yep, that's me.
I mean, it was funny, and it was very welcoming, of course, because if he really didn't like the foreigner, he
probably wouldn't have had fun with you,
Right, he would not have said it that way. But
you would have said something differently, or not even come in, or would have left,
He left, or. But it was fun. It was really enjoyable.
Didn't you talk to that guy earlier at the trip as well?
At a different bar.
A different bar, yeah.
Like 2 or 3 nights.
So you recognized
prior.
it,
yeah, right. Yeah. And of course, in English, particularly.
Did I not? I had a brain moment did I not put my wart back in there or the?
So in English, I'm a fairly personable person. I get along well.
Sure.
Even like here in America, even with people who are 180 out on political or religious philosophies or just life philosophies.
Right.
It's you like this, I like this. I don't care,
Yeah, no. I'm not gonna hate you because you don't like what I like.
Right, as long as you don't try to force me to live like you. That's where the problem
comes. That's where the problem comes, yeah.
So anyways, it's gonna be fun because we're gonna go to Japan and we're gonna do Japanese things,
Are you gonna eat squid intestines again?
Hell no, I already did that once. That was horrible.
Well, I think this time you should have dolphin intestines. That's not a real thing, I'm joking, but
yeah, okay. Yeah, right. Because, culture aside, the world would not like Japan if they found out they were killing dolphins for their intestines to serve raw.
Only the intestines.
Only the intestines. Throw the rest of the animal away. Just
Right.
chuck it into the ocean and let it rot.
No, they don't do that.
Do they still whale?
I don't know.
Apparently Iceland does because they need it for their sheep dung smoked whale testicle ale.
So they harvest whale testicles.
Well, how else are you going to get a whale testicle? Are you going to grow it in a lab? Maybe they could. They grow ears on rats.
grow a whale testicle on a rat. Why not?
It might have to be like a wombat.
You know,
Whale testicles are pretty big, from what I hear.
I didn't know whales had testicles. Honestly,
All mammals, all mammalian males have testicles.
I mean, it makes sense because of species kind of stuff, but I just never imagined a whale with a set of nuts on it. With scrotum.
It's not like that. All right, here we go.
My childhood has changed now because of this.
So horses have testicles too. Did you know this?
Horses?
Yes, horses.
Oh, I've seen horse balls before. Yeah.
No, you have not. They carry them inside.
I've seen something hanging down from a horse.
That.
I mean, I know what that is. That's not what I'm talking about. I thought I saw horse testicles.
You did not.
Okay.
You really did not.
I know the other thing hanging down, what that is. I get that, but I thought I seen nuts, like goat style. Goats have those big old gonad sacks. You know what I mean?
And so,
I thought I saw that on
so do
horses, too.
cows, bovine animals have
Right.
a big scrotum. No, horses carry them up inside.
Oh, like ovaries.
Horses will make you jealous twice because they have 6.
That's 2.
I know, but it meant 6.
6.
See, it wasn't. You get 6. That's not effective.
So they have 6 testicles?
6.
Are you kidding me?
6. Yes, 6.
Wow.
If they do, they carry them up inside. So do rabbits.
Yeah.
Rabbits don't have like a scrotum where it's hanging out.
Why are we talking about this?
I was gonna let it go.
And
with
now
whale
scrotum
testicles,
talk on
and now
Brewer
you
My
started
Spirit.
talking about whales and whale scrotums.
No,
and-
you brought up whales.
No, I was talking about sheep dung smoked whale testicle beer, which is just ridiculous. I can't believe they make that in Iceland. And then we can talk about the fact that Iceland obviously still has a whaling.
A whaling operation. Yeah.
Yes, because otherwise, how would they get whale testicles? Maybe they wash up on the beach. That makes that beer even more gross because now it's rotten whale smoked testicle beer done. I mean, it is in sheep poop. They use the sheep poop for the fire. They smoke the whale testicle and then they dunk it in the beer.
I don't know. Any comments on that?
Well, so far what we have is what's maturity? Yeah, not something that's happening in this garage.
Not tonight. No one's mature tonight. Good Lord.
Anyways, I don't know, man. But, well, there you go. So whales, I don't know if whales have scrotums or not. I've never really seen one on any whale, but they have testicles.
Okay.
So do horses and rabbits and all males. I mean, although mammal, interesting, mammal comes from mammary glands, which is like boobs.
Boobs, yeah.
So the dude's not even part of the description of mammal. It's all about the chick. Interesting, huh?
Sure.
You're still thinking about bull scrotums, aren't you?
No. No.
We totally need to change the subject.
Yeah, moving on.
Moving on.
Moving on. How about them 49ers? I don't know.
Did they win?
I don't know.
Did they lose? I'm not a football guy.
I'm not a football guy either, so I don't
doesn't
know.
help me.
I know earlier in my little work group text we had for all my shift, one of the guys, he's from California. He's a big 49ers fan, so. He was just kind of wanking in the text, like, oh, I can't believe this, whatever he was saying.
Yeah.
I don't follow. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. So we have a few crazy football fans around where I work.
So, I was reading some. You watch those people that get mad, right? And they actually throw stuff at their TV.
Oh yeah.
Probably not so much as anymore because back in the old CRT days, you could probably pretty much throw an engine block at your TV and the TV would win.
Bounce off.
Yeah, those CRT TVs were amazing. I tried to break one with a hammer once, and I thought, that would be easy, right? And so I just took the hammer, whang, and the hammer went, and the TV was fine. It's like, whoa. And so I went and got the hammer from like 50 feet away.
Wow.
Because literally, it bounced so hard, it came out of my hand and just off away.
Wow.
Because I wasn't expecting. I was expecting.
Like a 70s seat TV then, man.
Dude, I had to take a full swing, like from back up behind my head, and hold on to it hard. Bam. Well, that time it broke. Oh, do we have bubbles?
It's getting boilish.
Bubbles. Did you see Finding Nemo? Bubbles.
Oh, I have children. Yes, I saw Finding Nemo.
How many times did you see Finding
Many
Nemo?
times.
Yeah, me too. Of course, I was the one that was putting it on. All right, wait a minute. I'm gonna open the garage door. So You're gonna have to fight. You're gonna have to
Right.
fight
I'm on
to
the
get-
verge of boiling over.
Oh, well, then let me open the garage door and you won't have to fight. You'll just use all your heat.
Right.
I don't know why that is. I feel bad for you.
Oh, okay, good. It's not boiling over anymore.
That was the same
I'm
fight.
trying to get stable before I put my hops in.
That's that's what I do. I let it stabilize. I mean, nothing wrong with it.
Nope.
Am I still boiling? I'm still boiling.
Still
Good.
I have a lot of foam on mine as well. Kind of foamy today. All right, let me get my hops ready. And nobody on cam at the moment.
It's beer alone.
Beer alone. But they can hear us.
Yeah, that's something we need to remind your daughter of. Like the camera might not see you, but the microphone can hear you.
Okay. All right, 1 ounce of Pearl hops going in here. I'm not even sure where Pearl are from. I've never used Pearl before.
What?
Pearl.
Pearl. P-E-A-R like.
No, P-E-R-L-E. Pearl.
Oh.
Or Pearly. I don't know. It's
Like Ron?
yeah,
Ron Perlman? Ron?
maybe. Oh, it's apparently come from Germany. It's a German hop.
Oh, so Perle. Perle.
Perle.
Perle. Le.
Perle.
Le. Not le. Le. Is it le? I always thought it was just kind of
Actually, E, and if you do the German alphabet, the E is pronounced kind of like the Spanish alphabet. You know.
Right. Well, in Spanish, it's almost an A, like a long A.
Oh, that's it.
Not quite.
E. No, it's E. Like long E.
So I know in Spanish, I, the letter I, is almost exclusively pronounced E.
E, right. So yeah, actually, I think it's the same in the German alphabet. Yeah, it's very close to the Spanish alphabet, which is Latin based. You know, because
Right.
German, believe it or not, is quite Latin based. More than
Is it really?
you would think. Yeah, even though there's a lot of weird multi-consonant kind of words, you strip them down. There's a lot of Latin in there too. It's like English in a sense, where there's Latin and Greek bases, you know, roots in the words.
You got to think. I mean, Rome went all the way up into England.
Right.
We know because Peter's family apparently ran away to Wales.
What did you say? Wells.
I did say Wales.
Wells.
Wales.
All right, I'm gonna set my timer and time to boil. 60 minutes. Here we go. If I can get my passcode correct, don't lock myself out of my phone. Are you boiling? No, you're not boiling anymore. What happened?
I opened the garage door.
No, it was fine though. Even before you opened the garage door, or after you opened the garage door. Excuse me. Here we go. All right, start. There we go. Oh, there it is. Textbook. Boom.
Textbook.
Well, I guess wait till you get in. How much time do you have left on your boil?
Like 45 minutes.
Oh, maybe I should have waited a little bit longer.
No, 40 minutes.
Okay, 20 minutes should be enough time to swap when we do the
Oh, sure.
the wort chiller and stuff.
I was just going to ask you if you're warm enough and if you can leave that open, but you answered that.
It's kind of cold here.
It's colder outside.
Yeah, it's supposed to get down into 20 in the teens tonight. I need to take care of a biology thing.
Biology thing?
I have to pee.
Oh, no. No one was ever, that's actually, so what's interesting is much less so now than before. Let's go to regular cam instead of just having audio. Go back to regular cam. What's an interesting thing is, I used to be really active on Facebook. A lot of political arguments, trolling, flame wars, a lot of stupidity, lots of fun. I like it, but I only like it when everyone who's playing understands that we are just having an argument for the sake of the argument and we're scoring points. When people get really angry, that's not fun. And I don't get angry because for me it's just a game. It's Facebook. Come on, you're not going to change anyone's mind on social media. But in any case, one of my friends, he's posted some things, and this is a recurring theme that I see on Facebook, where it's like, you know, if someone says, I don't smoke marijuana, like here in Washington, marijuana is legal. And so a guy says, like me, I don't smoke marijuana. I just don't do it. It's not my thing. And people say, oh, it's not your thing. But oddly enough, if someone says, I don't drink, everybody's like, what? Come on, just have one beer. And there is some legitimacy to that concept of pressuring people to drink alcohol is really stupid. I think it's a legitimate idea to think that is dumb. Why would you pressure someone to drink if they don't want to drink? And we're not talking about people. I have some people who have had some problems. I have some friends who have had problems in the past with alcohol, and they don't drink. Now, those people, obviously, you're not going to tell them, come on, just one beer. It's like, no. I'm sorry, dude. This dude just finally, after 10 years, finally was able to go to the court and get the breathalyzer removed from his truck.
Right.
We don't tell this guy, have a beer. We tell this guy, oh, you're having a barbecue? Do you like Dr. Pepper or Pepsi? That's what we say to a person like that. You know, we don't even, totally. If you come over to my house, and I have lots of beer at my house. I have 20 gallons of beer at my house right now. Now, only about 4 gallons of it is drinkable because it's in various stages. But the point being, I have lots of beer at my house. I make beer every 2 weeks. So if he came over, though, I would close the kegerator, and it would be iced tea or water or milk or Pepsi or pop, whatever he prefers to drink. We wouldn't drink. Wait, what? What's wrong with milk? I like milk.
I have never in my life had a guest come over and drink milk. It just sounds to me. It's funny. It's like,
we're told,
you want a glass of milk? Yeah, we get a shot.
Next jam day, we're doing shots of milk.
No, people was laughing because like, folks who come over as guests have never drank milk. They've always drank either sodas or tea,
Okay.
Maybe their child had a glass of milk, but
there's at least a little bit of time delay because we just got the get a teenager to change the time display on your phone. I know how to change the time display on my phone. It's just not worth the hassle.
Right. Oh, I know I can go into settings and do it, but
let's go back to the alcohol comment and doing shots of milk.
Shots of milk.
It was just a non-alcoholic beverage. It's just.
I can't help it. Like, who drinks milk at someone's house? Who goes to someone's house and drinks milk?
We're breaking out the strong stuff. Whole milk. No 2% for you, buddy. I only the best for my guest.
Oh yeah. We're going whole milk, buddy.
Straight out the cow. In fact, hey, honey, bring Bessie on in here. You can suck it right out the teat if you like. Whatever. You ever milk a cow?
All right. No more wee heavy till we're done, dude.
What? I'm doing great. I'm in control.
No more wee heavy.
35 minutes. I got 30. So I have 25 minutes till I need to add my next one.
Yeah, we still got a lot of prep to do as well. We got to clean out carboys.
Yeah.
I got to get the water and the cleaner going for all the accessories and stuff.
So the truth is, we'll probably go another 10 minutes or so because that'll put me at 25.
Right.
That'll put me at 25.
Because like your water lock and mine and all the other stuff has not been sanitized yet.
Okay. Yeah, we could as a matter of fact, let me switch this around a little bit, and then we could just use this sanitization water and dump it in a bucket.
Yeah, you can dump it in the main bucket that's over there, and I'll top it up a little bit with water. I still need to put sanitizer in my carboy, which I got down, so we're that much closer to the goal.
So what you're saying is there's a lot of preparatory work.
There is work. There's still work we got to do, and if we're distracted by the camera, it's not going to get done.
And the
we're going to scramble, and I mean, if you want to keep talking, that's fine, but I'm going to get to work here in a little bit. So,
well, if you can do all of it, sure, I'll just keep blabbing my mouth. You know, I love the. So here's the truth.
yeah.
I'm the broadcaster. Steve is the brewer. That is really. Although we really had to at one point come to a resolution. It's like the beer comes first.
Right.
This was after like at least a gallon of beer went over the edge of the pot and all over the floor. Not once, not twice, but like 4 or 5 times. Chiller not ready. Just there were disasters, which make for great content. And if we were rich, by the way, you can sponsor us if you like.
Right.
If we were rich, that wouldn't be a big deal because we would just hire someone to make ourselves the beer that we had just ruined.
Right.
But we're not rich. And so we kind of want to drink this. Kind of, sort of, really. Actually,
I'd like to drink this.
well, the one who wants to drink this is my wife. This is her beer. We're making this for her. I mean, I like the peanut butter stout and stuff, but she was like, "Oh, can you make this?" And I was like, "Yeah." Meanwhile, in my head, I'm like, "Wow, I think I can make that."
Well, screw that one up.
This is a complex beer, and there's guesswork. I hate guesswork. I like it when it's real concrete. Add this much hops, and it will do this.
Right.
Not, well, this is the peanut butter flavoring. It says 1 ounce for 5 gallons, but that might be too strong. It's like, okay. Kind of like the toothpaste commercials, you know, where they add like a 1/4 ounce of toothpaste in the Nifty Neat Curly Q thing.
Oh, the perfect little root.
Yeah. Yes, and it's like, this is how much you should use. It's like, no, that's
how much is that?
That's like 7 toothbrushings. Brushings of the teeth. I don't know.
Yeah.
Want to talk about something else really ridiculous?
Sure.
So in my church, we do these things called odes. It's part of the canon, and so my church, as I've explained to you before, no. It's canon 1N, kind of like canon, like Star Wars canon. Canon.
I was being facetious.
Okay, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
I'm trying to bring up
So, tell us about your canon.
Dialectical portion of the show, and you're like messing with me. Can't handle this. This is wee heavy. It's wee heavy. This wee heavy has with you. But pride, very little foul language. Not even an S-bomb.
Oh, I had S-bomb.
Oh, PG it is.
Earlier in the show, I had S-bomb.
Let's go back and edit it out. Like we've ever edited a single video we've made. They just sit there forever. So in any case, these things are hard to read, like without reading them beforehand.
Gotcha.
I really need to do this because there's lots of haths and hads.
Oh.
7 or 8. Yes, like old Elizabethan English.
Right.
Yeah. No, I don't know. That wasn't nearly as interesting as I'd hoped it'd be. Kind of fell flat.
I was waiting for a kind of either a punchline or like that.
No, it was just like some of them are ridiculous. Actually, there is kind of a little punchline to it. So in a lot of Christian tradition, you will hear a lot of the time where with the prayers and things, it's like, look, you don't need to use all this flowery language. You know, just say what you want, right? Simple prayers are best. And then we read these written prayers, and it's like there were no less than 11 adjectives before the noun. 11 adjectives before the noun. Divine, immaculate, life-giving, ever-sustaining, pure. I like tapping my iPad, my phone. It was all linked. It's like, no, my computer is one thing, my iPad is another thing, my phone is another. No, I want to link everything into one thing.
Don't synchronize.
So that when my phone rings, so does my computer and my iPad. And it was annoying because it came through.
Apple thing, man. So.
It is an Apple thing, and I tell you, Apple, fix it. It isn't cool. You think it's cool, it's not cool. I am the voice of everyone. It's not cool. I'm actually the voice of no one. strongly opinionated enough to say I am the voice of everyone. Undo that.
I don't think they're going to listen to you.
It's time for a road trip to Cupertino and make them listen to us. How do you feel about being really famous and never coming back here? Yes, infamous. What do you feel about Mexico after becoming famous? Infamous.
All right, it's probably time to wrap up, man. So
You think so?
So we can focus on.
Nice,
you're gonna come
nice
up?
phone.
I have 45 minutes left, so
I have 27 minutes.
Still need to sanitize. So if you want to talk, you talk. I'm gonna go work.
Well, wait, sit down. Sit down. Let's go ahead and move this out of the way. I think it's good. For one thing, I'm running out of things to say anyways, so we can go ahead and shut it down. So, Jade, thank you very much for sticking with She's Still Here. Wow, there's 4 people here.
Oh, wow.
I don't know who number 4 is, but welcome viewers 3 and 4 who are they're taciturn.
Maybe it's bots. Maybe it's a bot. Yeah.
Why would a bot watch? They like to put out things like, hey, they little Cubert languages.
I know, right? It was kind of funny. Those Cubert languages. Yeah.
A bot would definitely put out a Cubert language. We're not gonna hang out.
Okay, maybe you're not bots, but
All right.
But thanks for that. But thanks for watching, though. Honestly.
Yes. Thank you, viewers 3 and 4 who are anonymous. We appreciate your viewership. Thank you, Jade. Thanks to Peter, Nathan.
We'll see you next time.
This is yeah, man. This is 2 broadcasts in a row that Nathan hasn't. I'm beginning to think we hurt his feelings.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna have to go find him, give him a hug, big hug. That's just uncomfortable to think about.
Maybe he's actually watching. Maybe he's 3 or 4 and just hasn't decided.
Maybe he's 3 or 4. Nathan always comments.
Yeah, he does.
He's an intelligent, witty, loquacious. All right, we're being really stupid. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, relax.
Don't worry. Have a
homebrew.
Have a homebrew. All right. Speaking of homebrew,
We so need a production team.
I know, right? Stop.
And end stream. Goodbye. Still not gone. Here we go.